Good morning. Welcome to Downtown Durham, Inc.'s 2021 State of Downtown Durham Virtual Summit. Thank you for attending. A special thank you to our federal, state, local elected officials and staff. It's been a while since we've seen each other, and a lot has happened. Like the rest of the world, it's been a year. Really, truly, it has been a year. And a lot of us have had to change and pivot. All of us have had to learn how to do things differently. We've had to learn how to live, work, play differently. And we at DDI were no different. We had to change, and we realized what was truly important to downtown. And we focused all of our attention on helping the small businesses of our downtown community that were struggling during this very, very difficult time. We became a clearinghouse for pertinent information. I've personally sent hundreds of emails to ensure that the downtown community and others heard about resources and opportunities first. We help business owners find grants, defer taxes, and apply for loans. We even purchased outdoor furniture and created a loan program for the restaurants so that they did not have to incur this cost. And we helped many of their employees secure resources like unemployment benefits and eviction prevention information. We advocated for our small businesses and partnered with the city and state to change rules and create policies related to outdoor dining, ABC regulations, and downtown parking, among other things, to help businesses survive during this unprecedented downturn. And we created initiatives to safely drive foot traffic to businesses as they reopened. This past year also brought into sharp focus our commitment to diversity. Downtown was the epicenter of Durham's outpouring of grief, anger, and frustration over racial disparities that have festered far too long. As an organization, we chose to stand with those who peacefully protested the horrendous killing of a Black man by a person of authority and all that it represents about the state of race relations in America. We supported the artists who turned what could have been ugly reminders of Durham's past into powerful statements that expressed Durham's collective pain and rage. Our diversity statement articulates this commitment and promises not just words, but actions that will continue to guide our work, policies, and advocacy. Like COVID, this reckoning continues to reverberate. It will continue to impact our downtown and serve as a powerful force we must contend with in shaping downtown's future. So this year's State of Downtown Durham event's a little different. Well, it's a lot different. First, we're not together. In the past, we would be hanging out at some cool space in the afternoon for about an hour and a half with a lot of networking. After our presentation, enjoying some delicious food and some great beverages from our downtown businesses. Second, it's a little bit longer. In the past, it was about an hour and a half. Today, we'll spend about 4 hours with you. But there's a lot of information that we'd like to share with you. And we will have a lot of different voices, including ours, sharing what has been happening. We felt it was important to share with you not only what has happened in the past, what we've done to get through, what lessons we have learned, and how we are going to move forward. So with that, let's just take a little bit of time to go through what you can expect in today's program. First, we'll share our State of Downtown Durham report, giving you a summary of what happened downtown since our last report in April 2019, and an overview of what's on the horizon. Then we'll get brief presentations from industry experts in office, retail, hospitality, diversity, culture and placekeeping, and North Carolina's economic outlook. Again, with an eye on taking stock and getting a sense of what's next. We've got a panel of leaders from Durham's economic engines to tell us what their plans are for the immediate future, and a panel of major developers who will share what's next for some of downtown's key developments. And finally, we'll welcome our keynote speaker, Bruce Katz, co-author of The New Localism. He'll give us insight on how our downtown and city can move forward even stronger. So as you can see, there's a lot to cover this morning, so let's get started. One segment deeply affected by this past year's challenges is our street-level businesses, particularly retail and restaurants. We've probably all grown to hate the word, but these businesses pivoted to the point of pirouetting, constantly reworking and adjusting their business model, from curbside carryout to online sales to outdoor dining. Whatever would allow them to continue to serve customers and keep their staff employed. But our bars and event venues were hurt even more, as they did not have the opportunity to pivot, but had to shut down at least temporarily, and unfortunately some permanently. We lost some of our oldest businesses. Some left downtown, but we're thankful that they remained in Durham. And some closed their brick and mortar doors, but either remained open or hoped to reopen online. So we've shared a little bit about how difficult the last year has been for our small businesses and downtown. But downtown Durham did do a little bit better than a lot of other downtowns across the country. The Durham Food Hall opened in the spring of 2020 at the very beginning of the pandemic. Since its opening, it is now home to 10 small startup businesses, all new to the downtown community. In fact, a total of 27 new retailers, restaurants, and bars have opened since March 2020, bringing the total to 173. We had 2 businesses, Parker and Otis and Letters Bookshop, that relocated or expanded in downtown. These are the 27 merchants that opened since March 2020. Minority-owned businesses were hit especially hard in 2020, and we lost some street-level minority-owned businesses in downtown, but we gained more than we lost. DDI devoted extra time to connect these businesses with contacts that could get them the resources they needed and provided one-on-one technical assistance. On the horizon, there are 14 merchants slated to open in the next year. 2 of them remain confidential at this time. And capacity-wise, we're just under 150,000 square feet of retail space, either under construction or planned as a part of a number of downtown's future mixed-use developments. Our merchants have weathered quite a year, and they'll continue to do so because of their tenacity and their flexibility, but also because of the private sector and the public sector rallying behind them through such programs and initiatives like outdoor dining, curbside parking, and the streetery, but also campaigns like Back on the Bull, Durham Delivers, and Durham Takeout Pledge. With ongoing support from these organizations, but also the support of each and every one of us, come downtown and support these businesses. Our small businesses, our merchants, the things that make downtown so powerful and so wonderful will come back. But it'll take a community. It'll take all of us coming forward. Since we've seen such a sharp increase in residents in our downtown community, let's talk a little bit about residential development in downtown Durham. So the last time we talked, downtown had 3,500 residential units and almost 7,500 people that called downtown their neighborhood. The Van Allen, which you see behind me, had just opened. Over the last 2 years, we've added another 800 units, bringing the total to 4,300. As of today, there are more than 2,000 more units in the pipeline. Occupancy rates for the downtown residential market stabilized at 94%. Over the last 2 years, the following residential developments were completed: the Bartlett, Brightleaf on Main, Cortland Bull City, Foster on the Park, and Willard Street Apartments, which opened just last month with 82 affordable units. Already under construction are 510 Pettigrew Apartments, Atlas Durham, and Roxborough at Venable Center. And planned projects include 300 500 East Main, 509 North Mangum, Array Durham, ATC West, Callista, Durham Gateway, Elan Innovation District, Gear House, Cress, and Vega. Altogether, this will increase the number of people living in downtown to more than 9,000 people. On affordable housing, the Willard Street Apartments 82 units have come online. And with the addition of 300-500 East Main, we have 305 more in the pipeline. The Durham Housing Authority's redevelopment projects at a number of its communities adjacent to and in downtown are still moving forward. We'll have more to report on this in the months ahead. As the numbers have shown, downtown's population is growing significantly. We anticipate an increase of 43% in our residential units. We need to watch that number carefully. Certainly, the number of residents in our downtown support our street-level businesses. However, we need to make sure that our residents that are living in the downtown area not only have a place to live and play, but also a place to work. So let's talk a little bit about the work component of live, work, and play. Office space increased from 3.6 to 3.8 million square feet over the last 2 years. This included 555 Mangum and Montgomery and Aldridge. On the horizon, we have only 515,000 square feet of office space in the pipeline, with the announcement of ATC West and Roxborough at Venerable Center, which is under construction. This 515,000 doesn't include the potential office space at 505 West Chapel Hill, the old police headquarters station, as the city is still negotiating with a selected developer. While the Class A occupancy rate has been trending in the mid to high 90s, as of the end of last calendar year, the rate dropped to 88%, a decrease possibly due to an increase in supply and a decrease in overall absorption. When we last spoke, Policy Genius had not yet announced, and while the occupancy numbers have decreased slightly, we all know that just weeks ago, Google announced a larger presence in the Durham market. We know that these major employers will draw other businesses, which will quickly eat up that available space. Our co-working startup space suffered a major blow with the closing of WeWork at Durham ID and the Mothership. Though we had some new co-working spaces come online this past year, to include Spaces, The Chill Place, and Locale 321, overall co-working space decreased by more than 90,000. At the same time, we're seeing an increased interest in biolab space in downtown. BioLabs North Carolina has outgrown its current 42,000 square foot space in the Chesterfield and is expanding into an additional 4,500 square feet in the same building. This space is already 100% leased, and there's a waiting list. Much of the WeWork at Durham ID square footage is also being converted to lab space, and Roxborough at Venable Center will include space that easily converts from office to lab. Office space in the downtown market increased by just 7% over the last 2 years. For all the reasons we've mentioned before, this is too low, way too low for downtown Durham to remain competitive in the real estate market. For us to remain competitive and to continue to bring businesses like Google and Policy Genius to our downtown market, it's important that we continue to focus on commercial development in our downtown market. So we've talked about retail, residential, and commercial development and growth in downtown. So let's just spend a quick moment talking a little bit about the heartbeat of downtown Durham, its culture and its art. I think we can all agree that it's been on life support the last year. Placemaking and culture looked very different last year, if they happened at all. General Manager Bob Klaus wasn't able to join us today, but he shares with us that DPAC won't open until all restrictions are lifted on indoor gatherings. In addition, any number of our smaller event venues have remained closed, and some of our major outdoor festivals like Centerfest won't be happening this year. But we are seeing some signs that life is coming back. An example of it is this mural that I'm standing in front of, the Worley mural, done by 2 artists working with Downtown Durham, Inc., trying to brighten up spaces and provide something new if you haven't been in downtown for the last year. In addition to the Worley mural, we have a number of walkables that are hidden throughout downtown Durham, and we invite you to come down and see if you can find them, tucked away in a number of nooks and crannies. There's live music Outdoors at downtown venues like the Blue Note Grill and Boxcar. The streetery continues. The Durham Farmers Market has opened successfully. Design work will soon begin on the Durham Beltline, which starts in downtown Durham. And next month, the Bulls will host their first game of the season. It makes me smile just to think about it. So indeed, the heart of the Bull City is coming back. As you can see, the downtown community weathered a devastating economic year, but still saw growth. 240,000 square feet of office space, 800 new residential units, 27 new shops and restaurants, and over $200 million in public and private investment. And our pipeline numbers show that this trend will only continue. But downtown is more than just the numbers. We need to ensure that we protect and honor the culture that makes downtown so special. And as downtown continues to grow and prosper, we must ensure that this growth includes everyone. It's been a tough year. 2020 forced us, made us, encouraged us to be innovative and to try some new things. And it's up to us to take what we learn and continue to use that and make sure that we continue to make this downtown the wonderful place that it has been, is right now, and certainly will be going into the future. So I look forward to having you all come down and join me and the DDI team in the place that you all love and the place that we love. I want to thank you for your time, and I especially want to thank you for your ongoing interest and your continued deep support for downtown Durham.